Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing? I hope I find you well, and I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready, because today we are doing some epic stuff. For those who are not aware, today I am streaming video games. This is very different from the norm. Usually I wouldn't do that, right? So we're really breaking the mold today. Alright, I hope you guys are ready for that. Oi, oi, oi. I'm just kidding, of course. What's going on, everyone? Today is Sunday, the 24th of January, 2021. I'm Darkside Phil. I welcome you here. I welcome you to the first of 2 gameplay streams for the day. A varied day, as usual, being a variety streamer. I always try to break it up and do different stuff during the course of a day. And today is definitely a good example of that. Today's first gameplay stream, end game of Yakuza 7. And I don't know if we're going to beat it today or not. What we have left on the agenda is as follows, okay? Number 1, we have to do a tiny bit more grinding in Ichiban Holdings. That's the business minigame. Because we need a little bit more money. I have enough money now to upgrade the blacksmith to tier 4, which is the final tier. But then I'm not going to have any money to actually upgrade the weapons. So I need to do like one more run in Ichiban Holdings just to get some extra money. For what I'm to understand, every time there's a boardroom meeting, you make 3 million yen. Okay? So, gonna do that first. Then, obviously, gonna go to the blacksmith, do the upgrades, get the final upgrades for all the weapons and everything, and basically prepare for the end of the game. I'm actually gonna change everyone's jobs one final time because, I did unlock, like, the best abilities of certain jobs that people have equipped right now. So once I switch it around and adjust it, should be able to do some more stuff, okay? So we're going to do that. Then we're going to head into the end game of the story. Yes, there will actually be story development today, okay? So I don't know how long it takes to complete the story. If it's relatively quick and we steamroll through it, I might beat the game today. But if not, then there may be another stream of it, okay? Once Yakuza 7 concludes as a story and the game ends, I can then do my year-end series. But I've also heard that there's post-game content that opens up. That there's basically 1 or 2 post-game dungeons that are challenging that open up. And you kind of need to do them for the platinum. I don't know if I'm going to get the platinum. Doubtful. Because I think I did miss a few side missions and stuff during the game. But I really love the game, as you guys know. So it's up for debate if I will actually do the post-game dungeons or not. If I do, they will not be mainstream content. It would be like a night stream here or there to do them, rather than a main gameplay stream. Okay? So, we'll see how it goes today, and judging by how today goes, will determine whether or not Yakuza 7 will be another main gameplay stream, if it'll just be night streams moving forward, or what we determine to do. Okay? Later tonight, it's going to be Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. Alright, late night stream. This one will not be interrupted like it was the other night where I did the Resident Evil 8 demo. Instead, it's going to be pure multiplayer of Black Ops Cold War. Hope you guys will join me for that. FYI, it is official as of today. There will be no longer extra hour late night streams. My wife's work schedule has changed. She's now going to be coming home earlier from work on the weekends. And therefore, I am not going to be streaming till like 10:15 or later. And I'm not saying that I don't have the capability to go a little bit later on a late stream if I want. You know, I could maybe go like 9:30, even 9:45 at the latest. But there's no way I could go later than that because she's usually going to be coming home around 10 p.m. From work. So no more super duper overtime on late night streams. Okay? Just so you know. Alright, tomorrow we swing back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And this is going to be interesting because we had a major story development last time around. And if you didn't watch the videos, I don't want to spoil, but we're basically heading into a culmination point of the game, and I'm not sure what's going to happen now. There was actually 2 more regions for me to try to recruit, and I hadn't done them, and I didn't know if you needed to do them by now or not in the story. So I don't even know if it's important to get them anymore. I'm kind of a little bit confused here. So I will be doing more of that tomorrow. We'll see. We'll get some good progress tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow night, more Immortals Phoenix Rising. This is exciting because yesterday, if you were watching the stream, you would know this. We headed into a new region, completely new area, looks different, different kinds of enemies, and new challenges. So we'll be working on that tomorrow night as a late night stream. Tuesday, I'm off from streaming. It's my day off to do errands and the like. When I come back on Wednesday, it will be Hitman 3 on the main gameplay stream, and I'm in the middle of a very challenging mission. The third mission in this game is a giant club that you need to basically walk around and try to find targets. Problem being the targets, you need to be detected on the fly. It's pretty challenging. You need to kill 5 of them. So far, I've only found 2. And I played it for like an hour. So I don't know how much longer it's going to take to beat the third stage, but we'll see. Wednesday night, likely it will be more Black Ops Cold War. And like I said, this week is going to be directly determined on what happens with Yakuza 7. Because if I beat Yakuza 7, then I can do my year-end awards, and my year-end awards are actually going to be late-night streams. And I'm not sure I'm going to break it up so that maybe one night I'll do the most disappointing games countdown, and then another night, and I'll do the best games of the year countdown, something like that. I'll probably break it up like that, only because when you do a countdown like that, each game I'm probably going to talk about for at least a few minutes, and if there's like 10 games in each countdown, and I talk for each a few minutes, you're talking anywhere from a half an hour to an hour per countdown. So I want to give it enough time. I don't want to have it be rushed and then, one night I can't finish because I tried to do both in one night and I ran out of time or anything like that. So this coming week, you will see the conclusion of Yakuza 7. You will see my year-end series coming up finally, okay? Also, once Yakuza 7 concludes, this is some interesting schedule changes, everybody, so listen up. Once Yakuza 7 concludes as a story-based stream, and meaning it will not be on the early stream anymore. All right? 2 things are going to happen. First of all, Immortals Phoenix Rising is going to become a daytime stream temporarily. It's not going to be permanently, but maybe for like a week I'll play it maybe 2 main streams. First of all, to get further into the game, but also I've actually gotten quite a few people over the last couple of weeks who've said to me, man, Phil, I really like the playthrough, but it sucks because you only play the game at night. And where I live, which means internationally, not in the United States, but somewhere else, it's too late at night for me to tune into your live stream. So I always miss the live stream, and I can never contribute. I can never support the playthrough. I really want to. Can you switch the streams? So I've gotten that request quite some time, or a few times. So I'm going to flip that at least a couple times. It's not going to be a permanent change. It's going to be a short-term change, but I do feel that it would be a positive change to have that be on the mainstream. So instead of Yakuza 7, it's going to be Immortals Phoenix Rising, Hitman 3, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla as the main balance of streams once Yakuza 7 concludes. All right? Now, for the late night streams, as you already know, this week coming up, we're going to have the year-end series, but also it'll be Black Ops Cold War. Also, you'll have my weekly Throwback Street Fighter session. Now, once we basically wrap up the year-end series, I'm thinking for late night streams, I may start playing oh god, what's it called? Why can't I think of the name of it? The Shark Game. Oh my god, I've completely had a brain fart. I can't remember the name of it anymore. The Shark Game, whatever the fuck it's called. Came out last year. It's free for PS Plus at least for another week or 2. So I'm thinking that I will do that as a late night stream. Maneater, thank you. I can't believe I completely forgot the name of it. Yes, I'm going to do that as a late night stream. I've heard it's only like 8 hours long or something like that. So, a few late night streams to play that would be pretty interesting. Good variety for the streams, okay? So that's going to happen as a late night stream. So that'll be balanced in with the other late night content, all right? Now, also, either at the very end of this month, at this point, though, it's looking more likely for the first week of February, marathon time, the retrospective marathon is going to happen. And I will be going through all of your nominations and the like in regards to this to figure out what exactly we will be doing during that marathon. Now, FYI, my website is currently down for routine maintenance. I spoke with the webmaster last night, and he says, yes, it's going to be down today. He's doing all kinds of upgrades and maintenance. He hasn't done anything in quite a long time, so he wanted to do a thorough update, and I was like, that's fine. People have been nominating all along for this retrospective. It being down for a day is not going to affect anything too big. So that website hopefully will be up again by tomorrow. We'll see. Okay. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. So yes, the retrospective is coming. All right. And then what I'm feeling is going to happen. All right. what I feel is going to happen is, once the retrospective is over, you guys are going to start nominating and then, of course, voting on the next Viewer's Choice playthrough. All right? I'm going to start with a Viewer's Choice playthrough. I'm actually going to start up Divinity Original Sin 2 sometime in early February. When that happens, Immortals Phoenix Rising will then go back to being a late night stream. So Immortals will basically be a daytime stream for like a week, maybe a little longer. And then it's going to go back to being a nighttime stream to make room for Divinity Original Sin 2 during the main streams. Okay? Now, once I beat either Hitman 3 or Assassin's Creed Valhalla or both, that's going to leave more time during the daytimes for other stuff. Some people have expressed interest in making Call of Duty a daytime stream a couple times, because a lot of people are, again, just like with Immortals Phoenix Rising, they're saying, hey, Call of Duty, we love that you play it so much, the multiplayer, you know, it's fun to watch you play it, and you try all these new weapons and everything, but you always do it as a late stream. Can you ever do it as a daytime stream? And the answer is, yeah, I could, but I want to wait a little bit, you know, till we have time. Maybe sometime in February I could flip those streams too and make Call of Duty a daytime stream. All right? For a little bit. Not permanently, but maybe for a stream or two. Okay? Then, eventually, you guys are going to nominate and vote on that Viewer's Choice game. That'll end up being a playthrough. Also in February, we've got Super Mario. Is it 3D World? I forget which game it is. I think it's Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury coming out for the Switch. Absolutely, I'm going to be playing that as a playthrough in February. Okay? So there's a lot coming up. There's going to be some flipping of streams, conclusions of games, year-end series, retrospective marathon event, Viewer's Choice playthroughs. There's a hell of a lot going on. Alright? A hell of a lot going on. Am I playing the Werewolf game in February? Funny Maverick, I have, like, seriously not heard anything about this game, except you guys tell me it exists, but I don't see anyone talking about this game on social media. I don't see anyone hyping it or promoting it. It doesn't even seem like the game exists. It seems like one of those games made by, like, an indie studio that's, you know what I mean? Like, almost like Vampire or whatever it was, where it's a game that doesn't seem like it's going to be very good and probably will not get mainstream coverage. But if you guys really want me to play it, I would consider it, but I don't know anything about it. Like, I seriously haven't heard a damn thing about it. So, anyway. Alright, so that's the deal. That's kind of the deal of what's coming up with my streams, guys. I hope that sounds good to you. Okay? I would say keep nominating things to the retrospective, but you can't because the site is down today. Alright? So, don't worry. Don't panic. It's routine maintenance. It's intended. So don't worry, because the site's down. But hopefully it'll be back up by tomorrow, and then you guys can continue to nominate your favorite moments for the retrospective. However, what you can do is you can let me know what you want me to do for DSP Tries It. I'm still considering things for DSP Tries It right now. My 3 top candidates are as follows. Either the new Cluckin' chicken sandwich from Jack in the Box, which sounds hilarious because it sounds like Cluckin' Bell from freaking Grand Theft Auto. Alright? So that's one. Or getting some kind of pizza and dipping it in ranch sauce, which was recommended to me by Sir Spartan King, among others, saying that it's good and I should try it. I never tried this before. Sounds disgusting to me, but, you know, I'm always willing to try something new. Or going to World Market, a local store here where it covers all carries all kinds of food products from all around the world. And maybe getting something that's like a regional cultural delicacy from another part of the world that I've never tried before and trying it as a DSP Tries It. Okay? Right now, those are my 3 top ideas. But I'm all ears. If you guys hear of anything else new coming out that you would rather have me try for DSP Tries It, I would definitely consider it. I just need your input on what that would be. Okay? Sounds good? Alright, good. Well, please let me know. Outside of all that, there's really not a heck of a lot to talk about. You know, we're still so busy trying to finish up this stuff from 2020. You know, Yakuza 7 Endgame. Heading into the endgame of Assassin's Creed. It's like, damn. There's so many lengthy games came out in late 2020, and it took so long to get through them because so many came out at once that it's been a crazy time. But finally, you know, February, we're going to start up with new stuff. Viewer's Choice playthroughs, Mario, and we can finally say goodbye to 2020 after the year-end series coming up this week. It's like, geez, it took so long, but yes, it's finally going to happen, okay? It's finally going to happen. All right. Outside of that, nothing. I really have nothing else to talk about. Let's move on to the next segment of the pre-stream, which is, of course, the gratuitous plugs. Ladies and gentlemen, I am an independent content creator. What does that mean? It means that I am not contracted with anyone to stream exclusively anywhere and make money when I turn on the stream. It does not. It means that I am not in any kind of a exclusive advertisement agreement, any kind of a sponsorship, none of that. All right. I'm truly independent. It means that when I say stuff on my stream, you can trust that it's honest, you can trust that it's truthful, and you can trust that I'm not shilling anything. I'm not pulling punches. I don't have to watch what I say on a stream for fear that I'll be dropped by a sponsor because I upset them. All right? I have been making content for over 12 years, and I pride myself on the fact that every day when you come to watch me play games, you're getting the honest reactions to what's going on in the game in that moment. You get to actually see what I think. You don't have to hear about any kind of baloney with, oh, this is great, or, oh, I can't say anything because there's an NDA. That's bullshit. All right? Those people are paid advertisements who do that. And sadly, a lot of top content creators these days who make a living doing this, like me, are forced to be paid advertisements. But not me. I'm very happy that I never went down that road. And by the way, I certainly would have probably been a lot more rich, right? I would have been rolling in dough like these top guys if I had went that route many years ago when I was super popular on YouTube, and I never went that route, and I am where I am because of it, all right? But that being said, the reason that you guys like what I do and the reason that I'm allowed to keep doing what I do for a living is because of your support. You like the fact that I'm independent. You like the fact that I'm truthful. You like the fact that I'm a normal guy just like you. I'm not someone who gets preferential treatment. I'm not someone who gets game early and kisses its ass and advertises it for free. Instead, I'm just like you. I get games on release day just like you. I pay for my games just like you. And I'm honest. So, you guys support me via crowdfunding on the streams, and that's what keeps me going. That's how I make my living, all right? And I really do appreciate that you guys continuously have supported me for 12 plus years. Hold on one second. I'm going to open my shades. It's actually cloudy outside today, so I can actually get some natural light in the room. Here we go. There we go. All right, so if you like who I am as a content creator, if you like the fact that I'm different from the other people who put out content full-time and do this for a living, if you appreciate how much I stream, which is, by the way, far more than most full-time streamers, which is hilarious. You know, we just recently had that Twitch year-end review, and everyone posted it up. Although, admittedly, some of the top content creators are beasts in streaming, much like me. I would actually say, who was it? It was Co-Carnage, and it was one other guy who's a very popular streamer, actually streams just about as much as me. And I was like, see, those are people, here's how you tell who likes what they're doing and who's doing it just for a paycheck, all right? People who like what they're doing will do it a lot because they enjoy it. They'll put in the effort because they actually like doing it. They like building a community. They like interacting. They like, you know, you could tell the true content creators who enjoy what they do versus, oh, here's someone who barely put in 1,000 hours in an entire year, but yet, oh, 1 million followers and shit. It's like, that's not someone who fucking cares. That's someone who went viral for doing some dumb fucking meme, and now they're fucking rolling in dough for nothing, versus someone who actually busted their ass, you know? So anyway, you know, I stream a ton, right? Because I love what I do. And I appreciate the fact that you guys appreciate that you guys know how much I love this, and you support my efforts. If you like who I am as a person, if you like the content, and you want to support it, please do. All right? But understand something before I even mention a single way you can contribute. My streams are free. My streams will always be free. And, you know, please understand that that's my model, is that I want everyone to enjoy my content no matter what. I don't want there ever to be a paywall or anything like that. Come on by and hang out. You know, contributions are not mandatory. Contributions are not expected. I actually expect it. I consider it going above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer if you actually come to my streams and contribute. Because what you're saying is, I like you, Phil. I like your content. I want you to continue doing it and be able to keep doing it and be successful. All right? So I appreciate that. All right? If you would like to contribute, here's how you can contribute. Number one, you can cheer with bits. Number 2, you can subscribe to the channel. You can gift a subscription to the channel. Or number 3, you can tip. All right? All those things are ways that you can contribute to the channel and help it continue to be successful. All right? And I appreciate all of them. I will give you a shout out if you do contribute today. However, please understand that if you are doing anything that's against the stream rules, if you're insulting someone, if you're trying to derail stuff, then I'm not going to say anything. But I do my best to try to shout out the positive contributors of the stream because I feel so grateful for the fact that you guys contribute to me every single day. All right? So that being said, thank you in advance for any contributions. All right? However, there's a few things that I like to cover. Some ground rules to try to help you guys out. In particular, I am always worried about your safety. So, in particular, if you're going to be a stream viewer of mine that's a frequenter, you know, someone who's here all the time, if you're going to be someone who's going to contribute in any way, I strongly recommend that you separate your Twitch handle from any other information about you, including your other online identities, for example, your Facebook account, your Twitter account, etc. And also, of course, from your real life name. Do not link your Twitch persona to anything else that you have. Why? Because sadly there are people who love to harass people online because they can get away with it anonymously. They don't do it because it actually does anything productive. They don't get anything out of it. They just like wasting their time harassing people. They basically get pleasure out of it. So the last thing you want is someone latching onto you and harassing you. All right? So please be careful about what information you put out there. Definitely don't use a name on Twitch that's similar to anything else that people could put two together and then harass you somewhere else. In addition, I strongly recommend you close your open Twitch direct messages. Direct messages on Twitch are very frequently used to harass people. You know, sending you nasty messages about me, about you, sending you links, you click on it, next thing you know, your IP's out there. You definitely don't want that crap happening, all right? So, be very careful. And I recommend you either turn off direct messages entirely on Twitch, or another thing you can actually do is you can enable it so that only people who are on your friends list can direct message you. That's a strong recommendation from me that you do that, okay? Protect yourself. Now, in addition to all of that, if you are considering tipping me today, which I appreciate because tipping is the best way to contribute, when you tip me, I get funds right away that I can put towards important stuff. For example, the cost of games, paying bills, paying taxes, buying groceries on my day off, getting food, ordering out for the one day a week that I get off so we don't have to cook. Stuff like that. Aaron, you know, supplies for Jasper, my cat, all kinds of stuff. Tips pay for that stuff, okay? So all that being said, I appreciate anyone who tips me because it helps me a lot. So if you are going to tip me, I am going to strongly recommend you go one extra step and make a verified PayPal account. A verified PayPal account means that when you create your PayPal account, you provide information to PayPal to verify your identity, including things like your name and address, a bank account, or maybe providing your ID information. Now, why do I recommend that? There's two reasons. Number one, because it gives added protection to both you and I. We get what's called buyer and or seller protection. If someone tries to commit fraud against you, PayPal has your back if you have a verified account. If you have an unverified account, you have zero protections. But with a verified account, you get those added protections, okay? In addition, the other thing is, I've had so much fraud in the last 4 months because of a human turd who went online and bought a bunch of stolen credit card numbers, committed hundreds of felonies, all right, against me, and did false tipping, that my PayPal account was insanely negatively affected. I'm talking thousands of dollars of fake tips. I'm talking ridiculous amount of fees and penalties against me, even though I did nothing wrong, all right? So I had to put security in place so that this doesn't happen any further. And I put some securities in place that are working, but sadly it's not foolproof. All right? If you create a verified PayPal account, I know your tip is real because no one with a verified PayPal account giving their real information to PayPal is going to try to commit a felony because you'll go to jail. You see what I mean? So if you are a longtime viewer, if you are a new viewer, and you want to support me via tipping, please go the extra mile and create the verified PayPal account. If you don't, chances are I'm going to have to refund your contributions, which sucks because obviously I really appreciate those contributions. I need them to keep going, but I can't accept these unverified tips anymore because there's just too much risk involved with it. Keep in mind, this is not just my hobby. This is not just, oh, Phil's making some funny money to just spend frivolously on the side. This is the money I use to do everything in my life, right? So I can't have it be taken away because of fraud, okay? Please understand that. So again, please consider making a verified PayPal account. And by the way, I'll just say this. Don't worry. All right? Don't worry. If you create a verified PayPal account, that information doesn't go public. That's ridiculous. People who say that kind of stuff, oh, you're going to get doxxed. Those are assholes who are just trying to scare you because they're shitheads who don't want you to support my streams. PayPal can't dox you. If they do, guess what happens? You could sue them for millions of dollars. They're not going to try to do that kind of stuff. That would be pretty crazy. They go out of business overnight. All right? They protect your information. It's part of the agreement when you give them that information that they're supposed to keep it safe. All right? So don't worry about it. I've had a verified PayPal account since the mid-2000s, and I've never had an issue with PayPal. Okay? So don't worry about it. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much in advance for even considering contributing to my streams. I really do appreciate it. Thank you again. Your crowdfunding, you know, it makes me able to do what I love for a living and just kind of relax here and have a good time with you every day on stream. And I couldn't be happier. Seriously. Thank you. All right? All right. Now, normally this would be a gaming news segment, but there's literally no gaming news today. I checked Twitter and everything. All anyone's talking about is politics again, which I'm so tired of. I'm not talking about fucking politics today. And Conor McGregor losing miserably at UFC and looking like a joke. But outside of that, there's nothing else going on at all. So there's really nothing to talk about. So we're just going to move on to the shout out segment. Maybe a shorter pre-stream today. We'll see. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see here. Let's see. All right. So, shout out to the people who contributed overnight. We've got an anonymous gifter who gifted a subscription to Mackenzie Beckett. Thank you to the anonymous gifter, and congratulations, Mackenzie Beckett. We have Amazing GT23 who resubscribed for 31 months. Thank you so much, Amazing GT23, for such long-standing support. I appreciate that. Golden Colston overnight cheer says, where should I dump my grease and cooking oil? Apparently, it's not supposed to go down the drain. I know. So, when I made a DSP Tries It video of this, many years ago, alright, I was made fun of intensely. Everyone laughed at me and said, you poured your grease down the toilet, you fucking buffoon, I bet you clogged your toilet. Well, I didn't, but everyone made fun of me. It was very insulting, and I was very upset. I actually cried many nights after releasing that DSP Tries It about making that breakfast sandwich with the bacon. I cried because people really were very mean to me on the internet, and I couldn't believe that it would be so nasty to me. Okay? So what you're supposed to do, so you have many options. Number one would be to pour it down your sink, but of course that could clog your sink pipes, right? Number two would be to pour it down your toilet, but that could clog your toilet pipes. Number three, you could just drink it yourself. Just drink the grease. That way it's in your pipes. But that could clog your pipes. Right? You try. So, what I recommend you do, all right, is you take a paint bucket, all right, and you open up the paint bucket, you use the paint your house, all right, then rinse it out nicely, all right, and then what you do is over a slow time, you fill that paint bucket purely with cooking grease, all right, you fill it to the brim, all right, and then you reseal the bucket nicely on top to make it look like a new bucket, and then you put it out somewhere and you put a sign, you say free paint, and then you leave it there. There you go. That's the best way to handle it. I don't know what else to do. What are you supposed to do with this fucking grease? Go out to the curb and pour it down the sewer. Now you clog the sewer pipes, right? It's a conundrum. What do you do with grease? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to tell you. Anyway, let's continue. Golden Colts cheered again. He said, do you think Gordon Ramsay has harmed the culinary arts? He's always so confrontational and abusive. It makes a kitchen look like a hostile work environment. And being a chef, an undesirable career? Yes. Gordon Ramsay single-handedly has reverted the cooking industry back to the Stone Age. It's awful, the things he's done. I mean, just the verbal abuse alone that you take whenever you step inside a kitchen at this point. I went to Taco Bell the other day. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago. And when I went up to the drive-up window, the manager there was screaming at the top of his lungs about donkeys and Muppets. I don't know what he was saying, but everyone there was crying. They were all salty tears, you know. They were giving me my food, and their faces were streamed with saturation. I was felt very sad, but I guess that's what you get when you work a food job these days. You work in the culinary industry, you're just going to get abused constantly. Anyway, Golden Cold Series says, what's the best way to make rice... Wait, excuse me, try this again. What's the best way to make plain rice palatable without adding tons of fat or sugar? Like the equivalent of putting some pesto on pasta? I don't know. Personally, I like plain white rice. I think it actually tastes pretty good. I wouldn't eat a giant plate of it by itself, but I think it's a good complementary grain to eat with other things. I think that because of it's almost like a cleansing flavor to it, where if you're eating other foods, it actually balances a strong flavor of a food with a more balanced, clean flavor of rice. But I'm not a cooking expert, and I would not know how to add flavor to rice. You would think there's some basic things you could do. Maybe some butter, or maybe some basic seasoning, salt. But I don't know. I don't just cook plain rice like that. I wouldn't know. Okay? I'm an Italian, so I actually brought up rice in an Italian kitchen. Luigi would walk over to me with this big spoon and just bop me on the nose and say, "Mamma mia, basta, shut the fuck up." So, Golden Cold's cheered again. He says, you've talked a lot about how being Italian influences your taste in food. Are there other foods or dishes from any culture that your background makes that you absolutely dislike? Like if you refuse to eat Japanese Napolitan spaghetti or something. Huh? Wait, what? Oh, okay, I understand what he's saying. What he's saying is because I'm Italian, I guess also to some extent because I'm Polish, all right? Is there anything out there like a version of maybe Italian food or Polish food that I hate? Yeah, like I've seen, first of all, any of the frozen food that typically you would get in a grocery store, all right? Frozen lasagna, frozen spaghetti and meatballs. That stuff is gross to me most of the time. There's one brand that I really like called Michelangelo's that actually has some pretty authentic seasoning and sauce. It actually tastes robust. But outside of that, almost every other frozen food is bland as shit. Super fucking bland. And they pretend like that's like good quality food. It's not. It's, oh, I love Stouffer's lasagna. So you're eating nothing. You're just eating like mounds of cheese. Flavorless sauce, flavorless noodles. It's fucking nasty. Why are you putting all these calories in your body if you're getting no flavor out of it? So anything, like any Americanized version of Italian food usually is pretty gross and just is not representative of what true Italian cooking would be. True Italian cooking usually has some kind of an olive oil base and usually includes fresh ingredients like parsley, basil, oregano, tomatoes, whether whole, crushed, put into a sauce, freshly tossed bread, something like that. Stuff like that. Those are like the key ingredients of Italian cooking. If you're eating something that says it's Italian and it doesn't have any of those ingredients, or it has those ingredients and they have zero flavor to them, that's not Italian. That's a fucking joke. Okay? Polish stuff, not necessarily. Like my mom used to make a few different Polish dishes. Usually she would make handmade pierogies, and the handmade pierogies are quite good with potato and cheese, and the handmade, it's kind of like a big ravioli. And she would usually like fry up onions and stuff with it, and that would be very tasty. But I've had some store-made pierogies that, again, they're bland. They just taste like generic potato flavor, almost like putting instant mashed potatoes inside of a ravioli. Ugh. You want fresh made, But basically, that's what I would say is anything that is Americanized versions that are mass-produced of that food, they're not even close to being authentic, and they're pretty disgusting, in my opinion. Now, I've seen, for example, Golden Cult is bringing up Japanese Napolitan spaghetti. I don't even know what that is, but there's like in my local mall, there's a Jollibee. Now, Jollibee is it? I always forget which it is. Is it Vietnamese? Is it Thai? I think it's Vietnamese, isn't it, Jollibee? I always forget. But Jollibee is a fast food chain. And what they do is they take foods from all around the world. And they basically... Oh, it's Filipino. Thank you, 100 Gex. It's a Filipino. That's right. Filipino fast food chain. And what they do is they take things from all around the world and they make them in a Filipino style. So they actually have spaghetti and meatballs. They actually have burgers. But it's a Filipino style. And I have never tried it. I'd be intrigued to try it and see how different it is from, like, the authentic Italian or American style, because I'm sure they have their own spin. But it's fast food. So I'm sure it's not great. Okay? Just saying. All right. Nicholas is actually the first cheerer of today's stream. He cheered during the live stream, so I'm going to get him up on the leaderboard as the first cheerer here. Nicolaus, 50 bits. And he says, don't you have to be Assassin's Creed for the year-end review videos? That came out last year. You never know. It might turn into a first-person shooter in the last 30 hours of the game. Now that I'm like 60 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I'm pretty sure I know what the game is. All right? And I don't think that I need to play any further in order to do the year-end series. Let's just put it that way. Snow Carl Cheers says, how would you say your greatly improved financial situation with wiped debt and higher revenue has impacted you and Cat's life this year? Do you feel better, less stressed, and happier? Yeah, let me put it this way. I used to live paycheck to paycheck. I used to have to wait for a payment to come in to backfill bills that were either late or overdue or a ton of late fees or an overdrafted bank account or all of the above. Now, I actually have enough money to pay my taxes every month, to pay my bills every month. It's good in that regard. Now, I'm not swimming in dough, that's for sure, because I'm back paying so much shit. I'm back paying taxes for 2 years that I didn't pay. All right? So I'm not out of the clear. I'm not in the clear. I'm not going to be in the clear for quite a while. But I'm in a situation where, yeah, I'm not worried about every month. Oh, my God, I really need that payment to come through because I'm dying now because, you know, it's not like that. And I'm happy for that because I used to not be able to sleep at night, wondering, am I going to get a notice overnight for my bank account that a bill cleared and now I'm overdrafted, or even worse, a bill tried to clear and the bank wouldn't pay it, and now not only did I just get a giant fee against my bank account, but now the bill's unpaid too, and, you know, it was pretty bad for a couple years there. It was pretty bad for a couple years there. So, but now it's different, and that's a great feeling. Nose Vacuum Cheers, Phil, can I ASL? Can you age, sex, location? I guess you can, but I don't think you should dox yourself. Nose Vacuum cheered again. He says, oops, my bad. Phil, can I ask a solid concrete day for the Divinity 2? No, because there is none. Galactic Reptile resubscribed for 9 months. And salutations, Phil. Salutations to you, Galactic Reptile. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for the support. Jack Seabass cheers says, you have a Zaxby's nearby. They have a new meal called the General So's Boneless Wing Meal. I'm not sure if you ever did a Zaxby's. DSP tries it. Another thing I keep seeing, which I really haven't heard of, is called bread in a can. Have you ever tried this? First question, Zaxby's. Never even heard of it until you guys started mentioning it on my streams. Apparently it's a fast food chain in America, but no, they don't exist here. They didn't exist in Connecticut where I lived. They didn't exist anywhere on the East Coast that I ever went. And I'm talking entire Northeast all the way down to Florida. I've never seen a Zaxby's. I've been to Texas, didn't see a Zaxby's. I've been to Chicago, I didn't see a Zaxby's. Also, entire West Coast, I don't think there's Zaxby's. I live in Washington. I've been to California. I've been to Nevada, Vegas. I've never seen a Zaxby's ever in my fucking life. Not once. I've been to Tennessee. No Zaxby's. So I don't know where the hell this place exists, but it's not in anywhere major. I'm just saying, it's just not. Okay? But no, I don't know anything about Zaxby's. They don't exist here. I can't do it for DSP Tries It. Okay? As for bread in a can, I've seen it. I think it was at World Market, actually. I think I saw at World Market. But no, I've never tried it. Okay. Sly 4308 tipped me $1.30. He says, I was going to gift a sub, but I just decided to gift 100 subs to Ninja. Well, there you go. Much like everything going on in the world, the rich get richer, And those who actually need support and struggle don't get it because people are stupid. So thank you, Sly, for the $1 tip. I appreciate that. You're the first tipper of the day. Keep feeding the rich. Let their bellies get big and swollen. And, you know, let those who actually work hard suffer. That's how it works. That's life. The Funny Maverick just cheers. It's crazy to think that if everyone gives you just $1, there's always at least 300 viewers per stream if you get your tips gold with no problem. True. And I'll say this, all right? I've always said this over the years. Success as a content creator, when it comes to someone like me, it's not about getting a giant sponsorship. It's not about getting a big payday with a contract. And certainly, it's not about one person coming to a stream and dropping a ginormous contribution. It's about crowdfunding. It's about a lot of people giving pretty much an insignificant contribution to them, but it adds up and it actually helps me. You're absolutely right. If, let's say today, we have 300 viewers on this Yakuza 7 stream. If every viewer gave $1, it's not a big sacrifice. Maybe for some people it would be, especially if you're hurting out there right now. And I understand a lot of people out there in the world are not doing so well because of coronavirus and other reasons. And that's why, as I told you guys, contributions are not mandatory nor expected. My streams are free and always will be. But for those of you who actually do have financial support and you're doing all right, $1 is nothing. $1, you probably blow $1 every day on something, right? But $1 per stream, per viewer? Are you kidding me? I'd be ridiculously successful. If I just think about that. Just think about that. How crazy that would be. Right? So, yeah, pretty crazy. Just think about that. Insignificant to you, but actually could completely support and change the life of a content creator. Just giving $1. Something to think about, right? Snowcrawl Cheers says, I really appreciate how you treat every contributor the same. You read every message. You don't give preferential treatment to bigger contributors. It rewards true fans who give humble figures and prevents a new tut situation. Yes, and for those who don't know what Snowcrawl means by that, a few years ago, there was someone here, his name was Tutankhamun, and he all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came on my streams, no one knew who he was, just started dropping ginormous cheers, started giving giant tips, started dropping sub-bombs. And he did this for about a month and a half, to the point where it was a regular occurrence. But all of a sudden, he started basically swinging his dick around. And he was like, oh, because I'm a top contributor, I want you to play this game. Or, oh, look, Tut's on the stream. Everyone talk about me now. So basically, he tried to make the streams his own because he felt because he was contributing, he was more important than everyone else here. All right? Now, I put up with this for about a month and a half. And then after a while, I basically had to talk to the guy behind the scenes and be like, you got to chill out. You can't keep doing this. All right? Then within a week of me doing that, he decided he was going to completely flip on me, claimed that I was an awful person, even though I didn't do anything. And then he tried to charge back all of his contributions and get them all back. He failed miserably. I kept everything. He looked like a laughingstock, and he doesn't exist anymore. All right? He's just a fart in the wind. But the point that Snowcrawl here is making is that I do go out of my way to try to give a shout out to everyone who contributes because I appreciate it. Again, whether it's $1 or a small cheer, whether you're the top chipper of the year. Right now, Jack's Racks are $100 tipper, right? Biggest contributor of the year, or whether you're the biggest cheerer of the year. Who was it the other day that did a ridiculous 10,000 bit cheer? I think it was Conduit. Did a 10,000 bit cheer the other day. Crazy huge cheer. It doesn't matter the size of the contribution. You know, you're all appreciated. Again, it's the crowdfunding that allows me to do what I love. And I know that. It's not just about because one super fan comes in here and finances everything. That's not how it works. It's that so many people appreciate what I do that you all collectively work together to allow me to continue to do what I love, and I really appreciate that. Okay? All right. Savage 2-Day did a 1,000-bit cheer. Biggest cheer of the day. Let's go ahead and get Savage 2-Day up there on the leaderboard. And he says, with the great success of the Dark Pictures anthology playthroughs in recent years, what would you like to see from Supermassive Games in the future with next-gen consoles? As always, keep up the great work. Well, certainly I want to see them continue to make these horror-themed games. They're really good. I really like Little Hope. Like, I thought Man of Medan was okay. Little Hope actually really impressed me because your choices directly affected the outcome of the game, and the plot was this cool supernatural mystery. You didn't understand at the end. It made sense, and it was actually really good. Okay, I loved it. It was like watching a really high-quality horror movie. So what I would say is, I want to see that series continue, but I would like to see what else Supermassive Games can do, right? Can they make another style of game that is the same, you know, the same narrative kind of a game, but maybe it's a different genre entirely? I don't know. But I would love to see, I mean, the quality of stuff they put out, like photorealistic characters and everything. I would definitely like to see more from them. I guess my question would be, though, like how much profit did they turn on those games? You know, I don't know, but I would hope that they make at least a decent amount so that they can continue to make good games, because I think they're a good game development studio. Yoshino Lover Cheers says, dude, I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it. It's been a while. I did get it. So thank you for that. However, I'm going to decline because Yoshino Lover asked, would we want to team up and play Call of Duty or whatever? No, I just basically don't want... I first of all, I like playing solo. When I play Call of Duty, I like flying solo because that way it's all about kind of me getting better at the game rather than worrying about, team-based mechanics. I have played team shooters before, and to some extent they were successful, but then after playing them for a few weeks, they got stale. Sadly, on PS5, I have no way to voice communicate at all. Properly, because my headset doesn't work properly because of the way that they made PS5. You can't even use the headset as a normal headset, and that's the fault of Sony. They really, I feel, of all the great things about PS5, the one thing they fucked up was the audio setup. It just doesn't work right. And that's unfortunate. So, because of that, I have no way to communicate with anyone when I play games online on PS5. Alright? So... You know, I tried, if you didn't notice, Brian, once or twice, he jumped into one of my Call of Duty games, and really it's the same as if you're playing solo, because you can't communicate, you can't do anything, right? It kind of sucks. So, the other thing is, too, I don't want to open up people to trolling, and sadly, as we know, the toxic idiots who follow me around the fucking internet just love to try to harass my viewers and followers. And I feel that if someone were to try to play a game with me, that they would just open themselves up to a ton of online harassment, which I don't want to do. Even if you think you're willing to accept that level of harassment, I don't think you really know what you're getting into. Trust me, from someone who gets it every day, I really don't think you understand what you're getting yourself into. So I'm going to say, thank you for the offer, but I'm going to politely decline. LP101 has sent me $1 and says, quick questions and suggestions. When you beat Yakuza, it'll open up 2 new dungeons. Will you be trying them? And can you freshen up your slideshow and border the same pictures like that one from Sekiro from many years ago? All right, first of all, in regards to Yakuza 7, I already answered this question on this pre-stream, but I guess you joined late. What I said is we're going to definitely beat the game, and then after that, what I might do is turn Yakuza into a late-night stream for a couple of sessions to check out those optional dungeons, just because it might be fun to have, like, post-game content, especially if the game's been so good as it is, and if the ending's amazing, I might not want to say goodbye to the game. But I definitely can't keep doing it as a main stream. Once we beat the story, there's no way this could be a main gameplay stream, right? We have to do something different. So, it'll end up probably being like a late-night stream, okay? Now, as for changing the slideshow artwork, I'm all for it. But as you see, all this artwork that's submitted is fan-submitted. I don't have the ability to make any artwork at all. I have no actual artistic or design capabilities at all. And I don't even have a program to do it. Alright? So, if ever anyone wanted to make some artwork for the streams, alright? I take open submissions. Alright? You can send it to me on Twitter at They Call Me DSP. You can post it up on my forums, although you can't do that now because the forums are down for maintenance, but that's what a lot of people do. They post up on the forums. Some people will email me directly, although that's very hit or miss because my spam filter, I get so much fucking spam email in a day that a ton of things people send me get caught in the spam filter. In fact, I'm not even kidding. The current stuff recently that I added, the emotes that I added to the channel from Polish Frog, they were in my spam filter. I only knew that they existed because he told me. If he hadn't told me, those would have sat in my spam filter forever, and I never would have even known he sent them. Okay? So, I am always open to, contributions when it comes to stuff like that on the streams. And, I'm excited. Anyone wants to do something new, go right ahead. I'd be more than willing to add some new pre-stream artwork. Once certain things get pretty old, I'll remove them. Some of this artwork is just so good that I've kept it for years. I mean, amazing hand-drawn art and stuff. But if anyone had something new they wanted to add, like, for example, we're watching Doom right now, right? Doom's from, April of last year? I just really like that slide. But if I had new stuff to put in there, I would, okay? Excuse me. The Paradox 988 has resubscribed for 19 months and says, hey, man, keep up with the great content, Phil, and hope 2021 is a good gaming year for all of us, and me as well. Nicholas has cheered and says, you say the same about Yakuza, though. You have about as many hours in that as Assassin's Creed. Yes, but the thing is with Yakuza, I'll be very honest with all of you. It's definitely a top contender for Game of the Year 2020 for me, and really the ending is going to possibly change that, how I rank it. How the game ends, how the story ends, and the conclusion gameplay could actually give it a different ranking in my Game of the Year awards, all right? But with Assassin's Creed, I don't really foresee anything in that game changing how I feel about it for the Game of the Year awards. So I don't need to finish it in order to do them. Cashmere Goat cheered 100 bits. He says, would you put grease in an empty can. You place it in the freezer, wait 12 to 24 hours, then you throw a solidified matter safely in the trash. Unless it's bacon grease, you can use that to saute Brussels sprouts or your favorite vegetable. Wait, what? Okay. So what Cashmere Goat is saying is when you have food grease, cooking grease, you're supposed to put it in an empty can. So you're supposed to have empty cans sitting around your house waiting for this, apparently. You place it in your freezer, so apparently you're supposed to have cans full of loose grease juggled in your freezer now. Wait 12 to 24 hours and then throw that solidified matter safely into the trash. So that's how you're supposed to dispose of cooking grease. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. That's the canon way to do it, apparently. Alright. Very exciting. I did not know that. Usually I just drink it. I chug it. It's very delicious. Jack Seabass Cheery says there's plenty of Zaxby's in Georgia, particularly around Atlanta. I've seen some in the Carolinas and also Tennessee too. If you do ever see one, it's worth a try. So it sounds to me like it's a down south thing, which is probably why I've never seen it, because I've very rarely gone down south. Like I said, I've been to Texas a few times. I've been to actually Atlanta, Georgia a few times. I've been to Tennessee. And none of the times I went there have I seen a Zaxby's. But apparently now it's a thing there. All right. I don't foresee myself probably ever going there ever again, but thank you for the heads up. Local Nomad did 100-bit cheers. Says, you have any turn lanes near you where you live that have a blinking yellow light? Wait, let's try this again. Do you have any turn lanes near where you live that have a blinking yellow light? I hate when cars behind me push me into the intersection and I can't see oncoming traffic. Here in Washington State, the roads are pretty damn safe. First of all, many roads here, sorry, I'm readjusting my pants here. I got a wedgie. It's disgusting. Got to get it out of my ass. There's nothing worse than when your pants and your underpants or your boxer shorts or whatever you're wearing, maybe your G-string, goes right up your ass, like into your cornhole. It's disgusting. I have to pull it out. Okay. So he says, I hate when cars behind me push me into the intersection. Well, here in Washington State, the driving is very safe. Why? First of all, most major roads have a center lane that you can use to get out of traffic's way if you're turning. When I lived in Connecticut, this did not exist. So whenever you wanted to make a left or right turn, people were constantly on your ass. Turn, man. You're taking forever, man. You don't have that here. If you're going to make a left turn in particular, there's a center lane where you can get out of everyone's way and wait for the traffic to clear up to make your left turn. I'd also argue there's a lot more bicycle lanes and breakdown lanes here than I ever saw when I lived in Connecticut. And also the lights here seem to be better operating, although I have seen a couple problem corners where the lights seem to miss time. In general, driving here is a lot less stressful than it was when I lived in Connecticut. When I lived in Connecticut, first of all, there were just way more people. and the roads were always crowded, especially on a weekend. Oh my God, trying to get around Connecticut on a weekend is like a pain in the ass, waiting traffic constantly. And because the roads were much smaller and more crowded, it was just a real pain a lot of times getting around. No, I feel way less stressed here in Washington driving than I ever did in Connecticut. It's just way more relaxing. There's a lot more paved roads that are smoother. There's a lot more drives that are just more picturesque and scenic, and you don't feel any pressure from assholes behind you honking, "Get out of the fucking way!" Suck my dick. All right? No. So the answer is no. We don't have any problems here with what you're mentioning. Okay? Jack Sealbat Cheerdy says, Hitman 3 has a VR mode. Would you consider trying it out once for old time's sake just to hear how VR has come since the release and how it works with PS5? No. Actually, the PSVR does not work with PS5. You need to get an adapter unit and shit, and I don't have it. So I couldn't do it even if I wanted to, and I have zero interest in VR. Zero. Like, literally zero. Okay. Yoshino Lover Cheer, he says, that's fine, I understand. It sucks that trolls ruin stuff like that for you. That I ask, it never hurts to ask, but if it's this serious, I won't ask again. Yeah, it sucks. I used to actually do multiplayer sessions with the viewers back in the day. But I would say probably it was ruined around the time of Metal Gear Solid 5. Now, I don't remember exactly what year that was, 2015? But anyway, I used to do, at the end of every year, for at least a week, I would run sessions of multiplayer for whatever the major games were for that year. Right around Christmas time, actually. It would be like Christmas week. We would do this special event. And it was very fun to play a variety of games. First-person shooters, fighting games, action games. And I remember one particular year, it was the Metal Gear Solid 5 year. All right. I was doing it. It was I used to call it Fan Appreciation Week. And literally every fucking game that I went to play, it was just trolls. Every fucking game. It was fucking idiots who would go into the lobby. They would not play. Instead, they would sit around get our teams killed and shit. They would scream on the mic, so you had to mute them. They would send harassing fucking messages to anyone who really was a real fan. It was a nightmare, and I actually got overwhelmingly negative feedback that year. Some fans actually said, just don't do it anymore because it's been ruined. Some fans got harassed for weeks after. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I really didn't intend for that to happen, obviously. It's never been like that before. But for some reason in 2015, that was the year, remember, think about that year. That was the year that I was DDoS attacked constantly. That was the year that I got swatted. That was the year that I got false copyright strikes against my YouTube channel that completely ruined my YouTube channel. Like, that was the year for some reason everyone's hatred against me was at maximum level. I don't know why. I don't even remember anything in particular that happened in 2015 that would have caused people to get so angry about me. But that's it. That was just a shit year. Okay? And that was the year that I stopped doing it. Because I got so much negative. People actually were like hurt by participating in my multiplayer. They were like, dude, this is terrible. I can't stop getting harassed online. I'm really sorry. What can I do, It makes me feel bad. I don't want people getting harassed as a result of being a part of my streams and my content. But that's why I just stopped doing it. It's just not worth it anymore, All right, continuing on. Angela Bestia cheers. I'm from Lithuania. I went on a road trip to New Orleans in 2019. In October, those motherfuckers drive like it's NASCAR on the roads. Yes, in a lot of places in the United States, people are fucking assholes. They want to speed and just completely ignore the speed limits. If you're not ignoring the speed limit, they act like you're at fault and they'll fucking be on your ass slamming on their horns. Like, fuck off, man. Like I said, for me, when I drive, I like to be a relaxing experience. I'm not saying I'm driving 20 miles per hour and keeping everyone from getting where they're going. I'm saying I usually drive the speed limit. I obey the laws. I'm in no hurry to get anywhere. I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying to be aware of everything going on around me and make sure that, everything's good. And these assholes just don't care. They have no self-awareness. They don't understand that every time you get behind the wheel, you're putting your life at risk and you're putting everyone else's lives around you at risk. You have a responsibility to drive safely. And these people just don't care. They just want to get from point A to point B as fast as fucking possible, and they don't care about anyone's safety, including their own. So, a lot of places in the U.S. are like that. Like I told you guys, in Connecticut, it was way worse than it is out here. It's still assholes out here. But in Connecticut, it was like everyone was a fucking asshole. Oh, let's see here. Snow Carl just cheered, and he said, wouldn't it be possible for you to play with viewers anonymously where you simply hide their names and don't reveal their identities? No, it wouldn't work. Games don't have that capability. The few that do, they still show it on the screen anyway. No. Jack Sealbath cheered and said, do you have any interest in watching the Xbox One PS4 launch videos during the retrospective? I'd love to see you compare last gen launch to this gen, and I love Xbox Bing videos. Yes, I would enjoy probably watching back those videos for the retrospective. I would say nominate them, but you can't right now because the forums are down. Okay? Dead Dove did 100-bit cheer. He says, good luck with the end game. I just finished it myself. One of my favorite games of 2020. I loved it. Thank you very much, Dead Dove. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Today's Sunday, if you're not aware. What that means is that here on Twitch, Twitch considers this the final streaming day of the week. And that means if you are looking to get up on the leaderboards for either being one of the top cheerers of the week or one of the top subscription gifters of the week, today is your last chance to do so. As of tonight, overnight, those leaderboards are going to refresh. And when those leaderboards refresh, that's the end of that. All right? So, if you'd like to get up there, do so today. You know, either cheer or gift a sub. Tomorrow we start anew. All right? Speaking of which, thank you guys very much for all of your contributions this week. Greatly appreciated. Let's now give shout-outs to the top contributors of the week. In 10th place for cheering, we've got Retro Jim. In 9th place, it's Sir Spartan King. 8th place is TVSCD. 7th place, Ninstar Rune. 6th place, Shirtless Mofo. 5th place, Ripley Atomic. 4th place, Savage Today. 3rd place, Rob on Wheels. 2nd place, Conduit 3. And in 1st place for the week cheering, Lucifer Soul. Thank you guys. Now also, thank you to those who get the subscriptions to the channel this week. Let's go ahead and let us give shout outs to those who've contributed. All right? People who get a single sub this week. Now, by the way, there's way more than this, but these are the 3 that show up on the list, so these are the ones that I can shout out. Thank you to Outright Unit, Internet Famous for Croy, and Orcs7, and of course, anyone else who gifted a single sub this week. The following people gifted 2 subscriptions this week. We've got Angelo Bestia, Jack Elise, and Nathan Tools. Thank you, guys. Cashmere Goat gifted 4 subscriptions to the channel this week. TVSCD gifted 5 subscriptions to the channel this week. Diocletian gifted 7 subs to the channel this week. And The Great Pretender gifted 10 subscriptions to the channel this week. Very nice. Thank you, guys. All right. Westside Rascal cheers. I'm telling you this because you need to hear literally everyone considers Sunday the last day of the week. That is absolutely incorrect. In the United States, traditionally Sunday is actually considered the first day of the week. Why? Because in the United States, a lot of the things that we do are based on religion. It's true, even though people don't like to admit it. And in Christianity, Sunday was always considered the first day of the week, the day of rest, that basically after a hard work week, you would start off the first day of the week as a day of rest. And it used to be that you could not even work on a Sunday. It was a religious guideline that you could not work on a Sunday. It was your day off. And if you actually worked on Sunday, the Sabbath day, you would actually get in trouble. Like you get yelled, why are you operating your business on a Sunday? That's completely against, you're supposed to have this day of rest in honor of God. All right? So, I don't know where this practice actually came from. Like many things with religion, a lot of the times they hide something that's very practical behind a religious explanation. I would almost guarantee the reason that this is because there was something in regards to government or in regards to something that they just wanted Sundays to be a day off. And so they justified it with religion. But yeah, in America, in the United States, Sunday is considered the first day of the week. So for me, it would make sense if everything reset Saturday night and on Sunday we started fresh. But that's not how it is. Now, in other parts of the world, yes, Sunday is considered the last day of the week. But not here. It never was. Okay? There you go. All right. So you're wrong. Someone else said the Sabbath day is Saturday. Actually, isn't that Jewish? That's in the Jewish religion. Or Hebrew religion, I should actually say. that Saturday is the Sabbath day, but not in Christianity. It's different. I'm telling you, it's different. Depending on religion. And primarily the people who founded this country were Christian. And so they had these Christian things that were imbued into our way of thinking, which make no sense anymore. They really don't make sense anymore, just being honest. Like, it would be great if Monday was the first day of the week and you say the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the weekend. That makes sense. Sunday should be the end of the week, but it's not. It's very odd. Okay? Oh, really? Play Divinity Original says, actually, some Christian denominations have Saturday as the day of rest. See? So it's not even consistent. It's not even consistent. No wonder it's so confusing, right? No wonder there's no like set day for this. Oh, really? Angela Betcha says Friday is actually considered the holy day for Muslims. Saturday is the holy day for Jewish or Hebrew. So Sunday would be... Wow, this is so confusing. This is why I don't deal with this religion. It's just too confusing. Everyone's different. And now we're trying to determine what day is the first day of the week, the last day of the week, and we can't figure shit out. According to Twitch, today is the last streaming day of the week. All right? We go by Twitch time. In Twitch world, Sunday is the last day of the week. Okay? In Celtic religions, Tuesday is the holy day. I've had enough. That's it. That's where I hold. That's my limit. I'm done. I've had my limit. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support on the pre-stream so far. Let us take a break. During this break, oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. I may have received a tip. I may have received a tip. Let's check. Well, I did receive a tip, but sadly, the tip was an anonymous checkout tip. And as I said, guys, I can't really accept these anymore. So, Dead Dove Productions, I thank you for sending me this tip because he actually gave me a heads up about something coming up in the game. But your tip is not from it's not a registered account. It's not a verified account. You just sent me an anonymous credit card tip. I can't accept these anymore. There's too much risk behind it. When I get these, if they get charged back, they completely destroy my PayPal account. All right? So I appreciate the tip. But what I would ask you, Dead Dove, is could you please verify your PayPal account for me? What that means is to link your information to it so that it's considered verified and protected by PayPal so that chargebacks cannot happen. Okay? By the way, I know you haven't tipped me in a while, so you probably weren't aware that this is a change that I had to do in the last few weeks. But I am asking that everyone go the extra mile and try to make a verified PayPal account if you're going to tip me to prevent fraud. Okay? So I'll actually read what Dead Dove said because it's actually nice. He says, not sure if anyone warned you, there's actually a boss coming up that can insta-kill a party member, and they love going for Ichiban, and of course that would be an instant end of the game. That's good to know. Ichiban does have the ability that prevents people from insta-killing him, and so I'll probably use it coming up. See, because right now I put him to the Dancer, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put him back to the Hero class because the Dancer kind of sucks now. I think I might have unlocked his Final Dancer ability. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure I'm probably just going to put him back to the Hero class for the finale of the game because it seems like the Dancer, or the Breaker class is kind of shitty. So, excuse me. Anyway, thank you for the heads up. I mean, I suspected as much anyway. I figured that some tough endgame stuff was coming, and I was going to have him use that ability that prevents instant kills regardless. So, thank you for the heads up. But I cannot, sadly, I cannot accept your tip. There's just too much risk behind it. All right? So, sadly, I have to refund it. I have to refund the tip. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to refund this. Sucks because I would like to keep it, but I have to refund it. At least if you have if you create a PayPal account, even if it's not registered yet, at least I can at least say, all right, someone went the extra mile to make it, but I have to refund this. All right. Angela Bestia said, in capitalism, no days are days of rest. That's correct. In our current world, every day is a work day. That is absolutely 100% correct. Okay. All right, guys, let's take a break. During this time period, I'm going to use the restroom, but you can do whatever you want. You can get a drink or a snack, make yourself a sandwich. You can water your plants. You can wash your dishes, walk your dog. Or you could use the bathroom like I'm going to. All right? So thank you guys in advance. When I come back, it is the true end game of Yakuza 7. We got a little bit of grinding to do, but after that grinding, then we're going to jump in and see what else we can get done today. All right? We'll find out. So thank you guys. I will see you in a few minutes for Yakuza 7 Endgame. Thank you, and thank you some more. All right.